Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and today I'm going to be covering the Greenland Championship. Of course, this is going to be the amateur division. If you're following me on Golf Impact, or if you're finding me much later into the game, I am staying in amateur division until I am able to cover every single course that the game has to offer. I plan on doing that for every level of the game. So for me, it's going to take a while for me to progress in the game, just because I'm trying to make as much content out there for everybody as possible, not only the current players playing the game, but I do believe the game is going to have explosive growth, and hopefully you're checking me out down the road. If you are checking me out down the road, keep in mind that in the playlist section of my channel, that is where I'm putting a compilation of tournament walkthroughs together. So this one's the Greenland Championship, but I've done the New York, I've done the Fiji, I've done the Dubai. That's all there nice and neat in the playlist section. Now for this championship, you can see I have a minus 13. That is also including birdie on a hole number 7, which is a par 5. These are some very tricky holes, but the good news is I'm able to find a path on every single one of them to help you get, at least a minus 12 and play this one straight up, but hopefully much better. As you can see here, I do think scores are going to be kind of low in this one, with a minus 7 being second place. That's pretty low, overall. But let's go ahead and hop into it. Like I said, this is going to be the Greenland Championship. This is going to be the amateur division. And let's start off like we always do on hole number 1. Hole number 1 here, we're using a Vega ball. And we are going to get a little bit aggressive with this shot here. So, you can do this shot with other clubs more than likely. You're going to need a more powerful ball though. Now keep in mind, this is a pretty short par 4. You could easily play this hole differently. This fairway that I'm playing on right now, where I'm trying to do the bounce over shot, for newer players, you're not going to be able to execute this shot. You're going to have to lay up on the fairway and then take your shot to pin from long distance. That's okay. It's still a safe birdie with the potential for an eagle. But, as I've progressed now, I believe this is my 4th tournament, maybe 5th. I've kind of forgotten. With winning a couple of them, I'm up to a Meteor 3, which is one of the better drivers, well, the best driver in the game. Now, here's what you can see. I'm going with overpower. I do hit a slight great shot, but on this one, it's okay. We're able to do exactly what we wanted, and this fairway has a really nice roll. Look at this. It's awesome being in putting range on a par 4. So we do get the ball onto the green, okay? That's going to be an aggressive option. Here's going to be a less aggressive option, still using the same ball. Here you can see this is going to be a Meteor 2. It was not less aggressive, I should say, different club level. And yeah, there is a big difference between a Meteor 2 and a Meteor 3. But here, we're trying to do the same shot. Now, of course, we do need more overpower as we have less of a driver, right? But here's why I want to show you this replay too. It's not as much about the driver. It's more about what happens if you don't make it onto the green, because, not that many players are going to be able to make it onto the green. So we want to give you some content here for other players. This one here, look, we clip the rough and we roll out. This is going to be a longer shot. It's not that long. I mean, it's still, on the second fairway. And we're only 50 yards from the pin. But, this is definitely different than putting in for the eagle. Here, we take our second shot. I go with max backspin. That's how I play games like this. I'm a big backspin player. I think it gives us good ball control. This is a great wind. 3.9 means we're going to pull this just under 2 rings. Because keep in mind that the wind ring system on this game is for every 2 miles an hour, you pull 1 ring. So here, we're just a shade under 4 miles an hour. 4 miles an hour would be 2 rings, so we pull it just under that. And you can see here we barely missed to the right-hand side. So might need to move our target over to the left a little bit to get that one to drop. But I just wanted to show you that option. Now we're on hole number 2. Hole number 2, we're going to be using a clover ball. We're doing the clover ball because it has wind resistance of minus 20, which is really good. We don't really need to go with anything more powerful wind resistance than that. Take note of my spin adjustments here. Now you have to be careful because if you don't zoom in far enough, that tree gets in the way right here of pulling your shot. But here we do get a good camera to take a look at it. Notice I'm using just a little bit of curl to the left-hand side. Now that's not a lot. It's slight curl to the left. And this ball does bounce very nicely. And this green rolls right towards the cup, leaving us for a very simple birdie. That was the best shot that I had on this hole. My other 2 accounts, I was able to make adjustments. And finally, this was my 3rd attempt. So that's one good thing about watching the videos here is, you know, that's my 3rd attempt and I got a really good shot. My other 2 were pretty far away from the pin. I still picked up the birdie on the putts, but that gives us even more to work with. So for you, you're able to take that shot and make some extra tweaks and hopefully get even closer to the hole and maybe pick up a hole-in-one on a very difficult par 3. All the par 5s in this tournament are challenging, and this is the first par 5. You'll notice what we need to do here is we need to go from this fairway, and then we need to curl the ball over to the second fairway without hitting the ball so hard that we accidentally go into the rough. So here I make my wind adjustment. Notice I'm using 1 full ball of curl, almost 1 full ball outside the adjustment circle window. And we do get the ball nicely up. And this right here is no fear of rolling into the top hand part of the rough. We just got to stay on the fairway. The good part about this is this is not an impossible second shot to get onto the green. So this is shot number 2 in which I thought about playing a rough bump. Probably not a good option here in headwind. So I am going to back this target down right here. And I'm going to play on this fairway and bounce it over to the green. In my opinion, this is the safest and best way to pick up the eagle right now in this wind. I'm using half a ball of curl to the left. We hit a perfect ball. And we bounce over very nicely. We roll onto the green, catch this little slope here, and leaving us for a very easy eagle putt. Okay, this is hole number 4. I'm sorry, this is, again, hole number 3. And, you know, at the very end of this video, just hang out for a second because I'm going to explain some things about the wind on this game that you may not be familiar with in tournaments. But same thing here. I make my pull, 1 ball of curl outside the adjustment window on this one. This is a little bit more powerful of a driver, so we got a little higher up the fairway. But same thing, I was going to go with the rough bump. Decided against it. I back up here. I'm just kind of fast forwarding because you've already seen what I'm doing. Same thing, half a ball of curl to the left. Perfect ball. And here, we just come into the left-hand side of the pin. The green on the left-hand side of the pin rolls very strange. That's why I wanted to show that shot to you. Okay, now we go to hole number 4. Hole number 4, we use a rose ball. The reason that we use a rose ball here is just because, you know, I do like the little bit of power that we get on it. We get a power 4, and not that we really need a powerful ball, but we do want to make sure that we got enough distance to hop over this sand trap and rough area here. Should be good with other balls, definitely. You could probably get away with a clover ball if you wanted to, even a feather ball, or a basic ball. Like, you could do it with any ball, I believe, but I just wanted to make sure, because I was having a good round going, that I did get plenty of distance. But you can see here that I needed to do more curl because I get stuck in the rough. The nice part about this game is it's not hard to hit perfect out of the rough, which you'll see. Again, I'm going to go with some backspin here. Of course, not full backspin, but I am leaving the ball guideline short of the pin, and that's because we have 4 mile/hour tailwind. So what we want is the wind to push us into the hole. Here you see I pulled it a little bit over 2 rings, hit that ball perfect, and look at this. Very nicely into the hole for an eagle. So it is definitely different than a game like Golf Clash when you're hitting out of the rough. You can easily pick up eagles out of the rough in this game. This is the first time that I've ever encountered snow in the game, which is pretty cool. This is hole 5. This is going to be the easiest par 3, in my opinion, of this tournament. Here, note, I'm going with about 1 bar of topspin, and you notice the 2 bars of side spin to the left. You can see where I'm aiming at right there on the green squares. We can back this up a little bit because I do think this is our best chance for a hole-in-one. So notice which green squares I'm aiming on, kind of like right in the middle of the seam where those green squares and light green squares connect. Like if you were putting them together like a puzzle, I'd be kind of in the middle where they connect. Perfect ball. So we need some tweaking when it comes to our landing position, but we're 2 yards away from the pin. Definitely a possibility here to pick up a hole in one. You'll just have to watch my replay, take some notes, and then make some minor adjustments on how I missed. You can tweak that one and get that one in. All right, hole number 6. This is going to be a SPICA ball. This first shot that I'm showing you here is going to definitely be an aggressive approach. Now, if you're somebody who's sitting there with a ton of those like Paris balls or, kind of those fancy balls, you could definitely use one of those in the next round. Here, you're going to see me switch to a SPICA. And the reason I'm doing that is because I get that power 6. What I don't like about this ball is the wind resistance minus 30. We don't want to cut the wind down. And if you're still listening, the one thing that I was going to say at the end of this video, which I'll touch on again, is these wind angles that you're seeing are going to be the same for everybody in amateur division that's playing right now real time, so today and tomorrow. But it's also going to be the exact same wind angles in the opening round front 9 holes. And then the game is going to switch the wind angles on us on the back 9. So the video you're watching right now is going to cover you for the front 9 and the qualifying round. I will make separate video for the back 9 wind angles. I'll make a separate video for anything that changes in the game on wind angles. Now, so if you're somebody who's patient and you're playing real time, meaning today and tomorrow, I will send some updated stuff. But here, you're going to see we pick up the eagle on shot number 2. I was talking through that whole thing, so let's go back and get focused on what happened here. The drive we saw, this is the second shot. We're going to go almost full backspin. Maybe I switch it, let's see. Yep, full back, aiming right at the hole. 3.8 miles an hour means we're going to pull this just under 2 rings. Perfect ball, and as you saw the result, we sneak it in there for an eagle. That'll take us on to a safer play. I should say this is a safer drive if you don't have, if you don't want to go for that other drive. You can play it right here straight up. Here I did use the rose ball, but you could really use any ball that you wanted to. But here, this is a very easy drive. I forgot to save the second shot, but second shot's not hard. You're only 171 yards away from pin. You've got a good angle there to try to drop the eagle too. This is hole 7 again on another account. I'm sorry, this is hole 7, which is going to be the next par 5. This is a difficult par 5, okay? Very difficult, and you'll see why on the second shot. The drive is easy. Now, unfortunately, here as you saw, I clipped the rough and I rolled out, so we need to add some curl to that shot, which I'll show you here later. But this is what the second shot looks like. This is why the second shot is hard. You have trees in the way, and you have it where the fairway hooks around to the left with a sand trap and rough. So what we have to do is just kind of guesstimate here how much overpower we need in curl. And here's what I settle on. And I got stuck in the rough. But like I said, this game is not difficult to hit out of the rough on. As you can see, I saved my eagle on a difficult par 5. Let's take a look at another account here. Same ball, but I do make some tweaks on this account. The replay you just saw was my first attempt at this hole. So here I know, okay, we need to go right down the middle of the fairway. What is this? Is this the same replay? Did I mess this up? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. That makes no sense. That's the exact same replay. Here we go. Here's the replay I'm looking at. Because this one I do make my tweaks. Full top, right? Now look, now I add the left side spin on. Okay, left side spin, aiming down the middle of the fairway. I didn't add any curl, but what I did do was put that left side spin on and move my adjustment over more. But be very, very careful on the overpower. As you saw here, I almost rolled into the rough. So, that's good to learn from too. You get to see how much overpower may be too much. Here I'm going with max left side spin. And you saw here on the top spin. And still, we got to try to curl this ball. Look at the curl here. This is a better shot, obviously, as now we're doing a chip in from the fairway. Max backspin, ball guideline going through the hole. Perfect ball. And we roll very nicely into the center of the cup for an eagle. I eagled it on 2 of my 3 accounts. And then, of course, on this account where I shot the -13, I did pick up the birdie. So, hole 8 here, we're going to use a clover ball. This is a very, very weird par 3. You're going to notice my spin adjustments, which I change here in a second. So, we'll fast forward till I make those changes. I'm going to go with 2 top and max right side spin with the clover ball here. I'm putting my yellow ring right up there on that little water line. And then you'll notice how I take the shot here. Half a ball of curl to the right. Here we hit a perfect ball. And this thing comes in, bounces up, rolls down towards the cup, and then back around curves to the left. Very, very strange par 3. I'm not sure yet what we need to do to pick up the hole-in-one on this one, although I feel like with all the rolls, it's probably going to be luck if we get it there. And then hole number 9 is just absolutely brutal, okay? Very difficult par 5 here. Here, we're going to go with the super rookie ball. I normally save these balls for the final round, but, you know, it's just going to be best case scenario here. You'll be able to go from fairway to fairway with your driver. You can see here having a meteor, I don't have to go with much overpower. I do use a little bit, you know, lesser level drivers. You're going to need more overpower. That's just part of the game. Unfortunately, we're not all going to be able to have the same clubs. Hopefully you do really well in the long drive competition, and hopefully you win some tournaments so that you can pick up these legendary clubs faster. But you just have to watch somebody like myself or any other streamer and tailor our shots to your clubs and playing style. This is just going to give you a good look overall at how the course rolls, how these fairways roll, and how the greens roll. Here, you're going to see, you know, it looks like we're able to get onto the green, no problem. The only challenge about this shot is the headwind. The headwind can force you to clip the rough if you don't use the right amount of overpower. And, of course, if you use too much overpower, you could go shooting past the green. But here I took a normal shot with no overpower, half a ball of curl to the right. And as you can see there, I do clip the rough and roll out. We would like to not clip the rough and really use this downward slope towards the hole. That's what we want to do. So a little bit of overpower needed. But here, look how crazy this putt is. I can't even believe that I made it. But look at the slope on this thing. Very cool. I even hit a great ball to the left, which I think ultimately helped me because of the way this green rolls very aggressively to the right. I think with a perfect ball, I don't know what would have happened, but that great left, I think, helped out. But what I was going to say about the wind in this game, again, if you missed it earlier, is everybody playing amateur division today and tomorrow in qualifying is going to have the exact same wind angles. Now, the wind mile per hour is going to change as there's variance there depending on the ball that you use and just a normal variance in the game. But the wind angles and is going to stay the exact same in the opening round front 9 holes. When we get to the back 9 holes, the wind angles are going to change on every single hole. So for everybody playing real time, you'll be able to use this video today, tomorrow, and then opening round. What I will do on Friday, okay? On Friday, I will release the back 9 wind angles and show you, you know, the best routes to take on those holes as well. And then that's going to set us up to have enough replays for the final round, okay? So you can use this video and then my next video to get you everything you need for the final round tournament. That's it. Let me know how you did in the comments. Best of luck, everybody.